class title is Maximizing Your Income. Does that sound good to anyone? What I want to do before I share, I would love for you all to close your eyes because I want to do a little private survey. Okay, close your eyes. Raise your hand if you need more money. Okay? Now, raise your hand if you're willing to work for it. Okay? Now, raise your hand if you feel like you're working for it now. Okay? Raise your hand if you feel like you're working for it, but you're not making it in proportion to the work that you're putting in. Put your hands up again on that one, I want to see. Like, what are these half hands, you guys? All the way, okay. All right, and who knows that they're not currently maximizing their income? Your eyes are still closed. Okay, perfect. 3 camps of people, and it's pretty much what I thought it may be. There's one camp of people who you've recently evaluated where you're at with your business. And you're working on purpose. You know how you make your money, and you're working purposefully. And when you're working purposefully, you're passionate and you're focused. Don't you agree? That's when you have the most energy. I mean, you really feel like you're in the zone. There's another group that feels like you're working, but you're not getting the results that you'd like. A lot of times in that group, you're working and you're expecting different results, but you're really not doing anything differently. You may know what you need to do differently, but you're not doing anything differently. That group usually is pretty frustrated. They're usually disillusioned, sometimes angry, a lot of times in denial. And this is the group that, with consultants or directors, we lie to ourselves when we're at these stages a lot. Third, not working, and know you're not working, and are fine with it. I mean, really, you're kind of in coasting stage. Or you may be like at a numb stage, or you may be complacent, but it's just, that's kind of where you're at. That kind of covers everyone, don't you think? If you're in camp number 1, you're working on purpose. Take notes on this and pass it on. If you're in camp number 2 was, frustrated. You feel like you're working, but you're not getting results. And an interesting thing in that camp, working and not getting results, usually it's expecting different results, but doing the same thing. But I'm finding a trend that's happening that people are actually thinking of doing less, and then they're going to get different results. And those conversations go like this. I just had one with a consultant, and she's frustrated with the results she's getting with her Mary Kay business, and so it's just not working now, and so she's going to get another job until it changes. Okay, that's going to work excellent. So you're not getting the results that you want with your Mary Kay business now, so you're going to do even less because you're going to get another job outside of Mary Kay, and so something's going to change with your Mary Kay business. You guys, really, there's a lot of disillusionment. And there's a lot of people flat out lying to themselves. I mean, really, that's a lie. And I had to say, you're lying to yourself, because if you think getting another job is going to increase your income with your Mary Kay business, it's not, is it? You have to change. You can get another job if you need to or want to, but if you don't change what you're doing with your Mary Kay business, your Mary Kay business income's not going to change. It doesn't matter. The other is a Band-Aid that allows you to not focus on what you have to be willing to do. So either you be willing to make the changes in your Mary Kay business, or don't say that getting this other job is going to change it, because it's not. That's lying to yourself. And that's something we have to stop, because when we lie to ourselves, we can't make any changes. And the third camp, like at a complacent, numb, I'm not working and I'm fine with it, if you're in that camp, if you won't have a sense of urgency for yourself, I'm going to pray that by the time you leave this retreat, you'll have a sense of urgency for the women out there who need what this company has to offer. You guys, you turn the news on, there are people that are desperate for the Mary Kay opportunity. They're desperate for the hope that you can have in a Mary Kay business. They're desperate for the support system that we have in Mary Kay. There are so many women out there that would love to be at a weekend like this, would love to be hanging out with a group of people who are talking about positive things going on in the future versus the dismal news they're hearing when they turn on the news. If you won't get off coast and change what you're doing to make money for yourself and your family, I am praying that something is triggered inside of you, that you get passionate about doing it for what the women out there need. Just sitting down with the woman right now and offering her a facial, listening to her, serving her, and maybe praying with her could change her life, could change her day. There are so many people out there that need that right now. I found that I'm always most effective on maximizing my income when either I have a great need or I'm sick and tired of depending on others to reach my goals and pay my bills. Okay? So when I get to these periods, and it's usually after you usually hit a mountaintop time, like you become a director, or you earn a car, or you do a unit club, or a new director program, then there's kind of like that celebration and maybe a coasting time, and then you go through, after coasting in Mary Kay, there's always going to be a growing season, isn't there? You don't go from mountaintop to mountaintop. In between, there's always what? There's always a valley, and there's always a learning season. And so it usually always precedes a learning season. That's a good time of being to those points where, you're either sick and tired of relying on other people to pay your bills and it's just not working out so well for you, or you need more income from your Mary Kay business. So when I get to those points, I know it always precedes growth, but I want to take you through the thought process. As a sales director, this is what I would do. And actually, as a national sales director, this is still what I do. The first thing is I have to stop playing the blame game. It's not my consultant's fault. It's not my husband's fault, my kid's fault, my child care situation, the economy. It's none of that. It's none what the income that I'm making and where my business is at. I have to stop blaming anyone else. And then tell God I'm sorry for blaming other people versus looking at in the mirror and it's repenting, saying I'm sorry. And then I look at, okay, what has to change? What has to change is you have to increase income and decrease expenses, right? Let's talk about decreasing expenses for a minute, because what I find, especially with sales directors, when they need to increase income, they're more likely to decrease expenses than they are to do the work to increase the income. And so the first thing they do is, I'm going to move my meeting into my home. I'm not going to go to leadership. I'm not going to travel. I'm going to disassociate myself from sharpening my, what do we sharpen? Sword? Hammer? Iron? They stop. They take themselves out of the things really that are important to leaders. And you guys, those are Band-Aids, aren't they? I have not seen it serve any leader well to not plug into those 4 events a year and not to hold sales meetings. I've not seen it serve any of them well, ever, in my 22 years. I've seen it be a Band-Aid, though, for a hemorrhage. It's not, because that's not the problem, is it? The problem is that the income's not coming in because of the activity that's not happening in the business. So with expenses, things that you could look at are prizes on hand. Section 2. Vendors, clothes, meals, gas, buying plane tickets ahead of time versus the last minute so you save time. Those are ways. God's taught me during these seasons how to be an excellent steward of my finances. But those are the things that you can be a wise steward on, but cutting out the training and then providing an environment for your people to be trained in, that is cutting off your nose to spite your face. Let's talk about increasing income. Maximizing your income. First, as a director, we have consultant income and we have director income. Let's talk about consultant income, because usually as a director, we just go right into the director income, and I want to touch on that. But you guys, a full circle skincare class maximizes income as a director. And Tricia was talking about, coaching 5 class as well. I don't know what that is, but I have to believe it is coaching, pre-profiling, making sure that you get these classes on your books. I call it a prototype perfect start, which that's booking 8 to hold 5 and doing what you're supposed to do to get the book classes on your books and keeping them on your books. But if you are booking and holding classes, we, at my 2 fall retreats, it was interesting. The training that consultants liked the best were the ideas at both of the retreats of how to get bookings from their bookings. Those were the things that stood out the most. They were a full circle class is having 3 to 6 people there and getting 2 to 4 bookings from each one. The woman at our Southern retreat, she keeps 15 to 20 classes on her books. She's a full-time teacher and a mom with a child. And the reason she did that is because she was a director before. And then her husband left with an 18-year-old and just one day never came back, and emotionally it was just a lot for her to take. And so she released her directorship, went back, got her college degree, became a teacher, but Mary Kay was always her passion. And so she always knew she'd come back to it, but she knew when she came back she did not want to go through the appointments, no appointments, appointments, no appointments. And so she wanted to figure out, how do you keep it going? And so her director showed her a hostess promotion called Deal or No Deal. It's basically just like the Book to Look, which is an original Mary Kay, get bookings from your classes. You can go onto my UnitNet site under Fall Retreat Ideas and see the Deal or No Deal. It's just a cute little takeoff, but she's getting 2 to 4 bookings at each of her classes because of that. If a director masters getting bookings from her classes, you guys don't have to go out every day and get 5 new leads. You don't have to be working with C leads with your whole business, because C leads don't show up. They don't buy the same amount of product. They don't recruit. And if they do recruit, they weren't recruited from a skincare class generally, so you have to teach them how to get into a skincare class versus someone who's recruited from a skincare class does a skincare class. So to increase your income, not only do you want to master getting your income up and bookings from bookings, so your business is flowing through classes, whether you like doing classes or not. When directors say, well, I can sell more at a facial, you know what, you may, but how many classes do you book from a facial? And so you always have to go out and get other ones. You'd be better off to sell less at a class and have 2 to 4 more appointments if they're introducing you to 2 to 4 more people. Financially, that's going to serve you better. And time-wise, it's going to serve you better. So you would have more income coming in, but also, too, then you start to get your recruits from classes. About 18 months ago, I made a conscientious decision that with my new consultants, I have always sold products and built our business through selling products, but I think I had gotten away from really getting them focused on booking a perfect start. I mean, we talked about, 15 faces is a perfect start. I don't even talk about 15 faces being a perfect start anymore, because my consultants that put the products on 15 faces, all they were doing is getting it on 15 faces, and they were getting nothing after that. They were getting no bookings after that. Whereas when they hold 5 classes, book 8 to hold 5, they get some bookings from that. They have some people to talk to about the opportunity. They have some people that, maybe possibilities for their pearls. And so I just said, I'm not going to talk about the 15 faces anymore. It is, you book 8 to hold 5. Does everyone do it? No. Does everyone do the 15 faces? No. But at least the ones that will be set up in a different momentum. And if you don't lay it out there, they're never going to do it. So I said, I'm not going to talk about the 15 faces for a perfect start. It is book 8 to hold 5. And it's been interesting to see what happens. You guys, it's a longer process, because as directors, you probably can get in there and work through people. If they'll give you those people to do interviews with, and maybe you're not as focused on them getting their classes booked, then if you wait for them to get their 8 classes booked and give you the leads from each of their classes, that takes a little bit longer. But it's so worth it, because the people they recruit, when someone recruits because they were at a class, what do? They immediately schedule a class. And so it has to be a conscientious focus for you, though, but it will increase your income. You first doing that yourself, but also with your consultants, making sure that your new consultant program is based on classes, not just faces. The people who aren't going to do classes, they'll still do faces, but if a director isn't selling classes more than faces, no one does them. And I think that has been a reason for decrease in productivity with a lot of our people. So you increase your consultant income yourself, and then you do it through your people, and know that that's not a 1 month long process. It takes like 6 months to a year to turn that ship around. Let's talk about maximizing your director's income. Did that give you guys some ideas of maximizing your consultant income? Okay, you have A, B, and C leads. An A lead is someone that you know. Like you know them from your daughter's soccer game. A B lead is someone that is referred to you from an A lead. So someone that's at a skincare class that gives you names, that's then a B lead. A C lead is someone from a facial box that you warm book, a bridal lead, a restaurant lead, etc. C leads, I think that you have to have 8 times the amount of C leads as you do B leads to have those people show up. And also, you guys, we get someone's name from David's Bridal, or we get them from a restaurant or a facial box, and then we're expecting them to sit down to a facial and go through a regular Mary Kay facial when that isn't what they came for. They came for something else. I had 2 examples of this. I did a bridal color party. So I'm going to this bridal color party, and I want it to be a skincare class. I'm going to do skincare with them, but I want to book classes from it, and I want to do the 4-point recruiting plan. These girls came to do bridal color makeovers. And so, as I'm driving up in the driveway, I go, you know what? This is stupid. I'm expecting them. I'm going to frustrate myself because I'm expecting something different from really what I told them they're coming to. And so I just want them to like me and to be happy with the bridal makeover that they got, and then gave them all foil packs and followed up. So I then got 50% of them afterwards on skincare because we did skincare fast. And now that they're getting on skincare and I'm connected with them, now I'm going to start to interview them. But for me to think that I was going to do the 4-part recruiting plan, this big, long marketing thing, when they're really just caring about matching up their colors for their bridal dresses is unrealistic. And you're going to get frustrated because your results, then you think, I have one of my directors, she does test paneling for mineral powder products. And so she's inviting people, C leads, to come and sit down and do these test panels, and she's wondering why her numbers aren't higher in closing recruits. Well, they're coming to test panel mineral powder products. And so then why not have a great hostess promotion? Like, why don't you tell them, you know what, in the next 10 days, you can have a 50% off shopping spree from my shelf. If you have 3 friends join you who are over 18 and don't have a Mary Kay beauty consultant, you get 2 minutes to shop, half off, whatever you want. They've just tried the mineral powder. They like the products. So in the next 10 days, they get to fill up a little Mary Kay bag, half off, whatever they want. If they have 6 friends there, they get to fill up a big Mary Kay bag at half off. That's their hostess promotion. In this economy, people like half off. They can do their Christmas shopping. It'd be great at this time of the year. So then you take those women and you reconnect with them in 10 days and they get people around. Then it's a traditional skincare class, and then you do the 4-part recruiting plan, and then you start to roll into doing what we do. Does that make sense? So a C lead is someone who doesn't come in that traditional facial or class, so we can't treat them the same. We try and treat it the same, and then we get frustrated because the results are lower. Okay? Okay. So let's look at director income. Let me give you a scenario of director income. And this is $5,000 in wholesale from new personal. So this is a director having 5 personal qualifieds. An average new consultant doing 1,000 wholesale. So you'd have 5,000 in production from your new personals. You are doing your own 1,500 wholesale because you're tracking Queen's Quarter sales. So that's a unit doing 6,500 in wholesale production. And that's just the director and the 5 new consultants. That's if you have no one in your unit doing anything else. Let's look at the income that you would make from that. So you'd have $650, which is your 13% commission check on those 5 people, on your $5,000. Your 13% director check is on the whole $6,500, so that's an additional $845. You got a $500 director bonus because you had 5 personal qualifieds. You get a $500 bonus because you had 5 unit qualifieds. You get a $100 bonus. You get a $600 bonus for doing over 6,000. So your income as a director was $3,095 for that month. Now, some of you have recently done 6,500 and it was unit production. It was less than $3,095, wasn't it? A lot less. Your personal sales, if you sell $2,500 in a month and did a 60-40 split, you did a $1,500 wholesale order, so you had $1,000 profit, so you made $4,095. So because you add on your $3,095 director check, your $1,000 profit from your sales, that's $4,095. If I times that by 12, I get $49,000. You guys, $49,000 is good money for a year. And that is you doing the classes and recruiting 5 qualifieds a month. That's nice money. But let's look at another scenario, because some of you are going, there's no way I'm not getting 5 personal qualifieds in a month. So let's look at 6,500 in unit production, but I want you to see the difference in the income, and you can pick which works best for you. I'm going to give you 3 scenarios. So scenario 2, same 6,500 in production. Let's say that you did 600 wholesale yourself. Your personal team did 2,000 in personal team production, and you had no new recruits, because this may be what it looks like. So you made your $845. You still get the 13% on your 6,500. Your personal team did 2,000. You get 13% on that, so you got $260. You still got your $600 volume bonus. You made $400 profit on your personal sales, because if you ordered 600 and you're doing a 60-40 split, then that's 400 in profit. So that is $2,105 income for the month times 12. So your annual income is $25,260. Okay? I'm trying to give you like that 6,500, 6,500. Now let's look at another 6,500. You guys, so often as directors, we're just looking at what our unit production is. It's not just what your unit production, it's how the unit production is designed. That's between $25,000 a year and $49,000 a year. That's the same wholesale a month. But that's vastly different income, don't you agree? What is that, $24,000 difference? No! That's a whole other job. By being conscientious about maximizing your income. Let's do the third example. Again, 6,500 in production. All right, let's just say that after this retreat you say, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm leaving $24,000 on the table by not really maximizing my income. So let's just say that you're not going to get super nutty. You're not going to do 5 qualifieds a month, but you are willing to increase your sales to 2,500 retail a month. Which you guys, what is that, 600 a week as a director? All of you in this room could sell 600 in Cornelius in the next 24 hours if I told you you had to stay a sales director, couldn't you? You would go out and find someone and you would sell that in the next 24 hours. You can sell $2,500 of retail products. Start tracking it. Put $2,500 up in your refrigerator and subtract against it. So you're going to increase your sales. So you're going to be doing Queen's Quarter sales activity to increase it. You make 50%. 50% is higher than 13%, isn't it? 50% is higher than $100 bonuses on personal recruits. 50% is the highest commission we make. We make more money selling product than we do anything else in our business. So when you need more money, where you get the most money fastest is selling more product. And don't just do it through Christmas sales, because you want to do it through new faces so you have new recruits. Because in January, Christmas sales are done and you're right back to where you started. So you increase your sales to 2,500 retail, and you just have 2 qualified recruits a month. Okay, so the 5 is just too nutty, you're not even going to go there, but 2 qualified a month. If you're selling 2,500 in a month, don't you agree, you're going to get 2 qualified? You are. So you have your $845 in, which is your 13% on your 6,500 still. Your 13%, I'm going to assume if you're getting 2 qualified, so you have a $4,500 personal team. So you're going to get $585 for your personal team, 13% check. You get a $200 personal recruiting bonus. You made $1,000 profit on your sales. You got a $600 volume bonus. So that month you made $3,230. So just by increasing your sales and getting the 2 personals, which are going to come from the classes, they're not separate jobs if you're doing a full circle skincare class, you've increased your income $1,100 a month. Could that benefit anyone's budget? And you times that by 12 and you made $38,760 for the year. So you guys, look at the difference in that. $25,260, $38,760, or $49,040, all from a director who did $6,500 in production in a month. Can you see how you can't just look at, okay, I just want more production, I want more production, thinking that the only way that you're ever going to make money in your business is when you get a Cadillac or earn a trip or become a $1 million director. I guarantee you that you can make more money doing less production smart than you can people who are just focusing on production and that's it. So the difference in these scenarios is what? Personal sales and personal recruiting, which you guys know, but hopefully by seeing this, it's going to make you be willing to, make the changes that are necessary. You have additional bonuses, stars. You guys, 5 stars a quarter, you get $300 a quarter, that's $1,200 a year. That's a lot of money. 10 to 14 stars, you get $1,600 a year. 15 stars, $2,000 a year. The wellness program, Cadillac, Unit Club, new director programs, offspring directors. Okay, I'm hoping that this information, what it gets you excited to do, is to pull out your date book and look at the last 90 days. I want you to look at the last 90 days and look at how far are you from where you need and want to be. Not to beat yourself up, but look at how far am I from where I need and want to be. But so that you can put a 90-day plan together. Like Trisha's 90-day girls, 90 days, you can change your business. But it does take 90 days. Some people only put the effort in for 30 days, and when they're not seeing the results they want, they bail out. You are reaping the benefits in your business right now that you did 90 days ago. What you did in July is what you're reaping right now. That may be a scary thought for some of you. So, what will you do before you leave here? What are you going to do by the 31st of October? Then, have a plan. What are you going to do the 1st of November to Thanksgiving? Then, from Thanksgiving to January 1st. And then January 1st to leadership. So you have 2 30-day time periods. You have probably a little less than 2 weeks and a little more than 2 weeks, bookending that. By the time we're in Phoenix together, how are you going to answer these questions? We started off with questions. I want to ask you to ask yourself, how do you want to answer these questions in Phoenix? Am I maximizing my income? And am I maximizing my time? I pray, really pray, that you're going to make the choices now to be able to answer yes to those questions when you're sitting in Phoenix. I am maximizing my income and I am maximizing my time. Thank you.